is something that's pretty special to my heart and to Yola's heart. The public hospital district started back here in the 70s with a couple of three commissioners that were pretty steady for many, many years, Esther Wright and Bob Williams. And through those years, the hospital district has found a way to deliver incredible healthcare services to our community. In the past few years, I think most of you know that the district engaged with a relationship with Skagit and Health Services and have made a continuing exceptional opportunity for us to have some great health care. The board chairman, Tim Cavanaugh, is with us, as well as John, who's also a board member, John Mino. And Tim's going to make a presentation with us today about the public hospital district entity, which is the entity that still owns the building and collects the taxes and pays the bills from the taxes on the building. And we want to welcome Tim. Tim, thank you for taking time out of your veterinarian schedule, and I sure appreciate you being here.
Are we going to be able to see him, Bob? Or
Tim, do you have your camera on?
Oops. You got to hang with me. Am I there? Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. There you
okay,
are.
Great.
Oh my.
I spotlighted. Wow. Well, first off, I was glad that I made Bob happy. My presence doesn't always make everybody happy, but and the main reason I did it is so John wouldn't have to talk, because that wouldn't make anybody happy. But thanks for inviting me. That was good. Certainly there are a lot of changes we're now Public Health District number 3. We don't go by Cascade Valley anymore because we did turn the operation over to Skagit, and that's actually been working really well in the last 2 or 3 years. When we first kind of jettisoned our management of the hospital, we were lost for probably a year on kind of what the hell were we going to do. And we had some meetings as a board. We knew we wanted to be active. We just weren't really sure what form that would take. And so we had some guided meetings like we love to have, when we're corporations, or organizations, we like to have somebody come in and help guide us. And we decided that our best use and our money, of course, we're not flush with money like we used to lose money. Now we lose less money. So it's actually a good thing. As Bob knows, hospitals are not really money makers. But we decided we would turn our focus to the community and the health of the community, and that's what we did. And we picked 3 areas that we felt we could help the most in. One of them was mental health, and I'll address the specific programs we have in each of these. Drug and alcohol awareness and abuse prevention, and then general health and wellness to maybe provide some things that weren't being provided. And the way we decided we would do this is to try and partner with other organizations that were providing some of these services, but maybe people didn't know about, and we thought part of our service would be working as a conduit, kind of help coordinate things. And so for about the first year and a half, we went around and talked to various organizations and tried to determine what was out there and make sure we weren't duplicating things and find out areas that maybe we could help. And the first one that we tackled was mental health. And that's actually a program that Rotary helped us with, get started with some of your money, and we certainly appreciate that. And we started off in April of 2018, and what we did is we felt that the best way to handle mental health issues would be at the I guess they call them elementary. I always say grade school. I don't know what they call them anymore, but the younger grades. And so we got a counselor into Eagle Creek Elementary for a couple of days a week, started working with people, some of the kids that were identified as possibly at risk. And that went really well. So we did that from April through the end of the school year. And then when 2019 school year started, we actually had 3 counselors. Around the school district really felt it was a successful program, and so did we. So we expanded it, and we moved up to Darrington and a couple other schools in the Arlington School District. And we were offering it multiple days. Now, of course, as everybody's life has changed radically recently, we've had to go to telemedicine. And so we're doing that, especially up in Darrington. Some of the areas are spotty for internet, and so they've worked around it and used the phone or whatever needs that seem to work well. And so we actually have 3, I think 4 now counselors working our program, and it's been really well received. One thing we're doing up in Darrington too is we're starting to offer them some adult counseling on a basis. And so that's an area that we're actively pursuing. We've gotten some money from Stillaguamish for it, from United Way. Of course, the great and wonderful Rotarians gave us some money, and again, I thank you for that. And then we did bill when possible. If they had insurance, we would bill that. The district ended up paying about $15,000 of the program in total. So that was a well-received program. And we continually try and expand that program, more counselors. Artis is doing great. She goes around and finds the counselors. And the telemedicine actually has opened up some things in that one of our counselor, I think, lives out on the peninsula. And so they can telemedicine that. So that's really a good program. I think one that we're really excited about. The health and wellness, general health and wellness that we've actually done quite a bit. We started with a yoga class, and that now started with 1. Now I think there are 3 of them, 3 per week. And basically we just charge a real nominal fee to cover the instructor's time. Also, we've done cooking and nutrition, and some of that has been how to shop at Costco, and in this COVID time, of course, kind of how to stock up. Again, we were doing our classes up at our office, but now there are some now on our website for cooking and healthy cooking, one-pot cooking, those kind of things that I don't do. So probably I should take a class. The Germ Busters, which was near and dear to Bob and Yola for a long time, kind of got dropped by Skagit. We're doing that now, and of course that's a really fun one for the kids. You go in there and teach them how to wash hands, and it's kind of a kick, and so we're enjoying that. We've done some programs from the American Lung Association, and I'll deal with that more directly on the drug and alcohol awareness. We've dealt some with hospice. We've had some meetings where people come in and talk about hospice services, and we've had attendance on those. We give those down here at the office. Things that we're working on, of course, is we hopefully will get back. We're actively right now, I don't know if many of you know, we bought the Alfie's Pizza Place down at Smoky Point, and we're not going to sell pizzas. We're actually converting it into a really nice office building. It's going to have a kitchen there, so we'll be able to do our cooking classes right there. It'll be really nice. We'll have almost a commercial type kitchen, and we'll be able to do our yoga classes there, and we'll have areas where we might be able to offer some counseling or things like that. And so that's kind of, and then also on our website, we started dealing with these people. Their names, anyway, their last name is Hope. I think it's Ray Hope and somebody else. Anyway, they give some talks, counseling talks, kind of stress relief. Of course, as soon as we started working with them, COVID came in. And so the classes that we had scheduled with them, we had to cancel. But we have a webinar on our website called Creating Emotional Success During Times of Stress, which of course is very timely right now. And that's available to anybody that gets on our website. And then, like I said, drug and alcohol awareness. We have worked with Seattle Cancer Care Alliance for nicotine cessation and vaping classes. We were just getting those up and running, and of course COVID hit, so we're kind of we've done some workshops, but really we've had to curtail that currently. So those are our main areas of growth, or the main area programs that we're focusing on. Overall, we're pretty excited with what we're doing. We have, like I say, Smoky Point Alfies. We think that'll be a great spot for us. We're going to have conference areas there for some of our classes, or as a community resource. We'll be able to offer that. Working with Skagit has been good. Yola, of course, has been great go-between, and I'm sure she does a lot of fighting for Little Cascade with Skagit. But one of the things that we do is, the way that we funded it is we do send them money from some of our levies that are excess that we don't spend as in our district programs, and they go to Skagit, but they have to be spent in Arlington at Cascade Valley. They can't be spent system-wide. And with that money, we just purchased the 3D mammography, and that's starting to be used now. We're working on our 501c designation, so we can. We have gotten some grants, but we've usually had to do them through other people if they were for charitable donations, and so we're working on that. And obviously, once this things open up, we hope to have our office done maybe September or October. It's moving right along. It's going to be really nice, and so we're pretty excited. It's a different role for the board. John's been very instrumental. He was with us before we combined with Skagit, and now he's hung on there, and he's the only, we keep him because he's the only board member that will wear a tie to the meetings. And so that's very important that we have that classy look to ourselves, because I don't wear one ever. And so overall, things are good. It's an odd time for all of us, I think. Certainly, I wish all of you, I hope all of you are staying safe and doing what you can. I'm certainly happy for a lot of things in life.
So Tim, are you good with that? Is that your wrap up? Tim, did we lose you?
Yeah, it looks like he's frozen.
Okay, John, take it over, buddy. So I was going to ask Tim a couple questions, and John, you might be able to help us on some of those questions. One of the questions I had was around the Alfies building, and are the programs that are being billed out for insurance and fees, are they going to be able to pay most of that overhead, or is some of that overhead still going to be on a tax basis?
John,
You have to unmute, John.
Sorry about that. So was the question as far as sponsoring some of the classes, who's covering that?
Yeah, is the building, purchasing the building, is the services are going to be provided there going to pay for the building, or is it still the district is going to pay for it with taxes? And that would be because it's going to house the corporate offices as well. Yeah,
so the cost of the building is still coming from the taxes on that. The programs are, if we charge, it's hopefully we have the partnership with an organization where we could maybe provide the facility, et cetera. But obviously it's not something we're trying to make money on, just provide the services, again, for the three items of the mental health, drug, and alcohol, and of course, general health and wellness. So if it has to do with those, that's what we're trying to do.
It's probably important to say it's really a shift from taking acute care of people to moving into mental health wellness, alcohol and tobacco wellness, and educational health management wellness. It's shifting your focus and what your purpose is.
Hey, John, I don't understand why the 501c3, is that going to be a separate entity? You're forming a separate entity, or as a government agency, any contributions to the hospital district would be tax deductible anyway if it's a pure contribution.
Oh, that's a good question, Dave. I actually wrote that down just to follow up with that. So very good question.
So I think some foundations actually require a 501c3 and won't give to governmental entities.
Yes,
So you may want to, I think that may be one of the drivers.
I think that is one of the drivers, and there is no longer a foundation to support that particular entity, and that foundation, you know, used to be the Cascade Valley Hospital Foundation, then it was the Cascade Valley Health Foundation, and they've kind of moved on. And so I think what they're looking at doing is writing some grants and obtaining money through charitable giving to help fund some of those programs.
So they're going to
There's a
form
lot of
another
work underway for that.
They're going to form another foundation. They're not going to convert the hospital district to a 501c3 entity.
No, my understanding from Artis is that they are creating a new foundation.
And for those of you that don't know, Artis is the CEO of, so you've heard that a couple of times. So Artis is the one in charge.
And how many employees, John? 3, as I understand you, we have 3 artists, some financing, bookkeeping, and billing, and then some of the teaching personnel.
Yes, we do have Erica Cogheld who does some of the teaching, but most of that is done by the experts. I tried to teach yoga, but I couldn't touch
Thank heaven for the students.
Yeah.
Hey, John, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear that comment that Tim made that you were the only guy that wore a tie to one of the meetings?
You're going to tell the cut the tie off story.
I was going to tell Tim about the time I cut your crimson and gray tie off, and Kimberly told me it was a $45 silk tie.
You're getting old and senile, pal. That was my tie, and I never would wear a cheap $45 tie, for God's sakes.
I cut your tie too.
And it was my favorite damn tie, and I'm still pissed.
Knowing Gene, he probably trimmed a lot of ties.
I'm sure he probably had more than one.
Oh.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Lee.
Hi, Lee. Thanks for joining us. We also had Jill Duskin that joined us when the speaker was on. Welcome, Jill. Would you have anything you would like to say to us?
Good morning. Hello. I'm sorry, I'm doing something else, so I couldn't be on the video, but thank you for having me, and I look forward to more of these.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Sure.